When the Avengers released in 2012, it wasn't just a movie, it was an event that changed the face of superhero films forever. Audiences were amazed by the epic battles, larger-than-life characters, and breathtaking visuals. But behind all that magic was a team of talented artists, technicians, and stunt performers working tirelessly to bring the superhero spectacle to life. But in today's video, we'll dive deep into how these jaw-dropping scenes were actually made. So, without any further delay, let's get started. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Hulk quickly became a fan-favorite character. He appeared so smooth and natural on screen, but making this green giant come to life was not easy. This behind-the-scenes footage shows us the painstaking process of creating the Hulk's character. It all began with crafting his 3D model. The designers meticulously sculpted his massive body, fierce expressions, and nuanced movements on computers. To capture the realistic scenes, actor Mark Ruffalo, who played Bruce Banner, often wore different costumes depending on the shot. Sometimes he donned a motion capture suit covered in sensors, and other times he wore a green padded dummy suit to match Hulk's size and texture. Interestingly, in some scenes, like the one where Bruce transforms into Hulk and charges at Natasha, Hulk was entirely computer generated without any physical actor on set. And the result? Seamless integration of Hulk's raging power into the real-world environment. Nick Fury's Helicarrier remains one of the coolest creations in the MCU, a giant aircraft carrier that could fly, sail, and even turn invisible. Surprisingly, the entire exterior of the Helicarrier was designed using CGI and high-level animation. CGI artists layered intricate details to make it feel mechanical and believable, creating one of the most iconic vehicles in superhero cinema. One of the film's adrenaline-pumping scenes is Tony Stark soaring through the night sky above a glowing cityscape. But what audiences didn't see was that the entire city skyline, including the famous Stark Tower and the surrounding skyscrapers, was computer-generated. Even the aircraft Tony battles midair were digitally created. The VFX team masterfully blended real actor performances with CGI environments, giving audiences the feeling of a living, breathing city under siege. In one of the Avengers' most unforgettable moments, Bruce Banner says, "I'm always angry," before morphing into Hulk and delivering a mighty punch to the massive Leviathan creature. This entire transformation sequence was crafted through CGI. While for this fight sequence, a small piece of the bridge was physically built in the studio for actors to interact with, the transformation of Bruce, the punch, and the Leviathan creature were entirely computer generated. Meanwhile, the attack by the Chitauri army in New York City was filmed using green screens, with actors performing on set pieces surrounded by green backgrounds. The bustling city and flying Chitauri creatures were later added using cutting-edge visual effects. And also the sequence where Hulk leaps across buildings and smashes Chitauri forces was also completely animated, as you can see in this video. During the intense battle, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow is seen riding on the back of a flying alien chariot. But in reality, Scarlett performed the scene riding on the back of a stunt performer wearing a motion capture suit, all against a blue screen backdrop. Later, the alien chariot and the surrounding city destruction were added digitally, creating the thrilling illusion of mid-air combat. Similarly, Iron Man's flying sequences and Hawkeye's rooftop archery scenes were shot against green screens, with the sprawling city and chaos added in post-production. The Chitauri army too wasn't entirely digital. Many stunt actors wore motion capture suits and were later transformed into terrifying alien soldiers through CGI. One of the funniest and most beloved moments in the film is when Hulk grabs Loki and smashes him around like a rag doll. This entire hilarious scene was brought to life through animation and CGI. Loki's reaction shots were captured separately and then combined with Hulk's animation to deliver the perfect comedic timing that audiences couldn't stop cheering for. By the way, what do you think about this scene? Let us know in the comments down below. This moment captures the multiple police cars rushing to the scene during the chaos. As the cars pull in, you can see the actors playing the police officers performing their roles with full intensity, adding real energy to the moment. What's even more impressive is that this sequence wasn't just staged with visual effects. The explosions and blasts happening around the parked cars were actually done practically right on location. Real explosives were set up underneath the vehicles, and when triggered, they created authentic blasts captured directly on camera. This gave the scene a natural, raw feeling that you just can't fake with CGI. At the same time, during the massive bridge fight, many of the car explosions were also performed practically. However, since some shots were too risky or complicated to pull off outside, parts of the bridge scene were recreated inside a studio using green screens. Later, the VFX teams worked their magic, enhancing these real elements even further to make everything look bigger, more dangerous, and seamless on screen. To match the intensity of the real explosions and chaos, Marvel's team went a step further by building real massive sets for certain key moments. You can really feel this in the scene where panicked civilians are shown running for their lives, the debris scattered across the streets, the damaged buildings, the smoky atmosphere. It all feels so real, like a full-scale war just broke out. But in reality, all of this was the result of meticulous set design and the hard work of the crew. Even the appearances of Captain America and Thor among the fleeing crowd were filmed on these detailed sets. In one especially dynamic moment, you can spot Captain America leaping over wrecked vehicles and sprinting across the battlefield, action that was captured practically without relying on heavy CGI. The attention to real-world action added a gritty authenticity to the sequence. However, not every part of the battle could be shot on a real location. Some scenes, like the intense bridge fight involving Hawkeye, Captain America, and Black Widow, were filmed entirely on a green screen set inside a studio. The production team constructed parts of the bridge and placed the actors into this controlled environment. Under the director's guidance, the actors performed their movements and fight choreography as if they were truly in the middle of a high-stakes, dangerous battle. Even though they were surrounded by green screens, the intensity and realism they brought to their performances made these scenes feel just as gripping and believable as the real location shoots. Throughout the movie, we often see the Avengers piloting various high-tech aircraft, flying into space, engaging in aerial dogfights, and navigating through storms of enemy fire. To pull this off, the production team created multiple full-size dummy aircraft, each designed specifically for different scenes. Depending on the needs of the scene, they used these realistic props combined with green screen backgrounds. This allowed the actors to interact with physical controls and cockpits, making their performances feel grounded while giving the VFX teams the foundation they needed to create thrilling fight sequences in post-production. The scene where Loki attacks the S.H.I.E.L.D. facility was another impressive example of practical filmmaking combined with VFX. A full-scale set replicating parts of the S.H.I.E.L.D. environment was constructed inside a studio. Around the main props, large blue screens were set up to later extend the world digitally. The interiors of the Helicarrier were also filmed this way, with real props, platforms, and control rooms designed practically, allowing the actors to move and interact naturally with their environment. Later, CGI was layered on top to expand these sets into the massive airborne fortress that looked absolutely stunning on screen. This scene happens when Nick Fury comes to meet Tony Stark to discuss the Tesseract, with Captain America, Black Widow, Bruce Banner, and Thor also present. Although the movie shows off advanced technology everywhere around them, but behind the scenes, much of it was created using a simple set with strategically placed green screens and real props for the scene. And the actors' strong performances helped sell the environment, making it feel authentic and immersive. This intense moment takes place inside the iconic Stark Tower, where Tony Stark stands at his bar counter, drink in hand, where Loki confronts and threatens him. Even though it feels like the scene was filmed inside a luxurious skyscraper, it was actually shot entirely on a studio set. The filmmakers built a realistic-looking interior for the tower and also placed blue screens outside the windows to later add the sweeping New York City skyline digitally. The authenticity of the set, combined with Robert Downey Jr.'s brilliant, charismatic performance, made the scene especially gripping. The Avengers 2012 wasn't just a success because of its heroes, it was a triumph of filmmaking craftsmanship. From carefully constructed sets and explosive practical effects to groundbreaking CGI and brilliant performances, every frame was a work of art. Thanks to the dedication and creativity of thousands of artists, stunt performers, technicians, and actors, we got a movie that truly felt like a comic book come to life. By the way, what was your favorite behind-the-scenes moment from this movie? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive content on your favorite movies and series. We'll see you in the next one, and ta-ta for now!